Okay, I wanted to show a few things of how I did some stuff here, just as a sort of a, you know, a muck around thing. So the first thing I wanted to show was my little fix for the bridge program. If anyone else does this and they just install it and then they update it and then you update it and it just stops working on you. Okay, there's a couple things you got to do. Always download one of these little assets and keep it locally. This is the key to how you are gonna get this fix. Um, Now, another thing you got to do is when you go into the settings, you go down to more settings. You got to go to the license file here, and technically, leave that in there, okay, for the time being, okay. And what you do is you go back to Quixel's website, right? You can use that. I go into the Unreal Engine launcher. I click on the Unreal section, then I click on Learn, and then I click on the Wikipedia, and then I just mouse down to the forums, because for some reason that's the only way I can do this real quick where I don't have to sit there entering all these 50 million passwords. Anyway, once you get there, right, um, you can look at Quixel's little area where you got the license files, right? And you download those, and there's one called Studio, and after it drops in the directory, you get the next one, which is that bridge one, and you can just overwrite the other one, okay? And then you click on this thing, let's say, right? And then it would say export, right? But you want export settings, so you go to advanced settings, right? Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Bah. Up here. You click on export. It would be like this, and you click on export settings, and you go down here, and you click on Unreal Engine, right? Make sure that's in there. Make sure this is in here. And for some reason, when they install this, is blanked out. So you got to go click on that, and that's where it is all the time, right? So, okay. And I don't bother with the project location because I might be doing multiple projects, which I might use the same asset multiple times, right? So it's better to have it locally, where then when you go to export it, really what it's doing is just copying the file into the project, which saves you time and effort of downloading and everything else. It's all about your workflows and times, right? How you do stuff. And being efficient is one way to really get things rolling. Okay, so after you've exported something, you can then put it into your project. I did a little example not too long ago. See this one here was the one where the guys are all kind of, you know, the one little undead guy was doing a little dance and the other guy was doing an emote kind of thing. And this little project, I didn't realize it was this big. They made a huge map out here. The problem is the outside of this map has no collision, right? So I couldn't put a guy over on the ice over there because he'll fall through it. So I'd have to then create the collision detection stuff to make that kind of work. Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to show you was, how that kind of works, right? How do you how do you do these little animated guys, man? Well, it's all the work's already been done with the Paragon people. What I just did was found something amusing that would fit a certain situation and then just kind of went with it, right? So here we go. And I added this other guy here with another animation, right? I just dragged him in here, right? Okay. He's got different look to him because he's in the shade a bit and the sunlight's hitting him different. But what you do is you go up here, you go to, let's see, where is it? Content, where's Gideon? So you go down to Gideon, go to characters, you go to heroes, click on there, and there's a thing called skins. And there's a bunch of different guys, right? Like there's the Inquisitor guy, and you can go into the mesh area, and I scale this up so I can see what I'm looking at, right? That's that one, right? So we go back up here to skins, scroll down a little, and the one that you see right in the middle here is the Mephisto one, and if you want to put the horns on his top of his head, you can socket those onto his head, and you'll have like horns, right? And if you wanted to, I mean, if he's just going to stand there, you could have little bits of flame coming off it from a particle system. Gets a little more testy if you're moving them, but anyhow. Where is it here? Go over to skins again. And the the meshes, and this is this guy here. And what you do, and I'll do it again just for the sake of it, just go like this. All right, get rid of this guy first. Oh, better select him. First I'll delete this guy. Then I'll drag him back in. Right, and you see he's just kind of looking silly there, standing there, right? When you bring it up, you got this little area over here to the right. What you want to do is you go to animation asset, and then you can use one of probably 100 that they've pre-made for you. Okay, and it automatically goes into this directory here, and you got all these right here, right? All right, let's see here. Primary, medium, long range attack, and you can, and you ask yourself, well, how can you do some custom stuff? Well, there's another tutorial I saw on how to take animations like this and put them into keys or have them triggered. Okay, you can do that kind of thing. And that's how all these AAA companies kind of do this stuff, right? Respawn. Let's see here. You got his running stuff. Yeah, all through the running. Stops. Spin, jog, spin, stun. And he's falling down. Stun start. Torn space targeting pose. Torn space. Version 2. Let's see what that is. Looks kind of funky. Okay. Let's wait for a second here. Okay, now normally I would go play and then standalone, right? Like this. This is what I usually do sometimes, right? You just do this. Save. And I'll show you what will happen here. So it saves all the stuff. It sets you at the beginning of the level, and I haven't. This is at maximum settings, and I haven't taken bloom off, which is why it actually appears to look a little bit laggy, right? And things take a while to load in for me. That's why I gotta kind of little bits move. Like if I stay here for a while, things will load in. That's because potato PC, but it will, you know, just move a little. You see, I added these guys over here. And this was another thing, is that some of the skins are so different, you could use them as, like I could use these guys as guards, right? You have a bunch of guards, and then you get a trigger when you walk up so close to them that there would be a conversation that's suddenly being had, right? You can do these kinds of things. And again, what appears to be looking laggy isn't laggy at all. It's just that it's this bloom thing that's put on, and it's So there's sort of a animation where he's going in and out of his little thing there. It's like a teleporting thing. But you can see that's just sort of you got 3 little things there, and that's how just a couple of minutes. You know, the longest time was sitting there waiting for the shaders to compile. Once they compiled, now it's good to go. Right? There's some fun ways to do things, you know, like and you can, and retargeting is how you put these skins onto the white guy here, the white mannequin they call him, right? And when you do that, then his movements are for that guy. If you wanted to put the animation for his animations in there, then you got to go into and redo all the keys and stuff like that, which is a little bit of work, but then you have something that's custom done, right? Pretty neat. Let's see here. Let me see, just sort of let that load in. Will it load? Looks a little bit laggy there. Not bad. And you know, it was free. So this is, you know, part of the pack of, you know, Paragon characters, and my idea was to, get a few people together and try and make some little shorts and animations for people so that you could have some entertainment and not cost you an arm and a leg, and I could be entertained myself because I'd go back and watch them too if they were, you know, the stories were good and everything else, right? Like there's just tons of stuff you can do with this, you know. This is why I say, this is and I'm still learning things, so that's part of the other thing, and I'd be doing a lot more often with this stuff if I had myself that newer PC, which I'll get to. I'll get to. Just be patient, everybody. You know. Anyway, you hit the mouse key or the Windows key. You do that, and hit the save key just to make sure everything's saved up. Okay. Like I said, different categories. Where was the collection? See, they had a thing here. Okay, let me just get out of here. Modular, pipes, lush plants. Where was it? All types. Atlases. What's this? This is weird. Oh, stuff you can put in there. Okay. Uncheck that. Whoa. Yeah, clear. Clear. Go to collection. Go to collection. Okay. In collections. Modular pipes. Oh yeah, so now I can build things with pipes. Interesting. Okay, so that's in this kind of thing. So steel tiles, wooden things. What's this? Oh yeah, flooring. Tiles. See, this is good for architecture too, like if you're building like a pretend house or something like that. What I also wanted to try and do is see if I could use some of these assets and put them into there was that survival mode kind of builder program that had the wheel. If I could have it, put down certain objects, right? It'd be kind of cool to have that kind of thing, because then you'd have a really high-tech looking builder program set up. And you could adjust it, all this other stuff. Anyway, just wanted to put that out and show you guys.